Tonight on NewsWatch, a city destroyed. CBN News is in Moore, Oklahoma, a day after that deadly tornado devastated the community. Plus, stories of survival as people begin picking up the pieces. We'll bring you more on people who miraculously made it through that storm. And you'll meet a group of doctors who are crossing cultural lines to help kids in the Middle East. All this and much more tonight on NewsWatch. And good evening, everyone. I'm Wendy Griffith. Emergency crews are still digging through the rubble in Moore, Oklahoma tonight. That after a massive tornado slammed the suburb of Oklahoma City yesterday. And tonight, the community of about 41,000 people is bracing for more heartache. Right now, 24 people have been killed, confirmed killed, including at least 9 children, but that number is expected to rise. Well, people in the disaster zone spent the day trying to recover and clean up as the state's governor asked America to pray for Oklahoma. George Thomas has details.
More than 24 hours after this monster twister cut a 20-mile path of destruction.
Oh my God, I was praying to God so many times, and I was like, I'm not going to see tomorrow.
I saw the debris and the wall cloud. We thought it was a wall cloud. It was the tornado. It was pretty big.
Residents of the battered town of Moore, Oklahoma,
it looked like a war zone,
are slowly coming to grips with the devastating reality around them.
There's a car part in my bedroom.
2-mile-wide tornado packed wind speeds up to 200 miles per hour, and this is what it left in its path. Block after block after block of indescribable devastation.
Just in a matter of 30 minutes, your whole life is torn upside down.
Daniel Gilberman spent the day cleaning up debris and trying to salvage what's left of his home.
Long time to clean up. It's just going to take a while.
And it's a scene played out across town as emergency workers search the ruins for survivors. President Obama offered his prayers and support to the people of Moore.
The people of Moore should know that their country will remain on the ground, there for them, beside them.
Some of the most heartbreaking stories have been about children. The town's 2 schools took a direct hit. The first, Briarwood Elementary, was completely destroyed, but miraculously no one was killed.
We were told to get in our tornado precaution systems.
A much different story at Plaza Tower School, where walls collapsed, killing 7 children. But despite the death and devastation, the state's governor vows they'll bounce back.
Oklahoma has gone through this a couple of times, and we're resilient, strong, courageous people.
And it's not over yet. The National Weather Service says the same storm system that brought Monday's twister could strike parts of north-central Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, and northern Arkansas this evening. George Thomas, CBN News.
It's so hard to believe that's real. Well, there are many stories of tragedy coming out of this disaster, but there are also stories of hope. CBN's Michelle Wilson is in Oklahoma and brings us one family's amazing story of survival.
I was just waiting to be sucked up. I felt like we were going to be sucked up.
Melissa Smith and her daughter Alexis quickly drove to pick up her eldest daughter Jewel, who was in gym class. That's when it hit.
Behind me is the gym where the kids were told to take cover, and just looking at the magnitude of the wreckage, it's a wonder that anyone survived.
They said everybody get down, the lights went out, you know, you could hear it, and the ceiling just started falling down on us.
And our ears were popping, and then something hit us in the head.
As Melissa and her daughters huddled in the gym, they found out it wasn't as safe as they thought it would be.
I just got on top of my kids. I'm bleeding in the back of my head now.
There's just miles of down power lines, and people are everywhere. Parents are here to pick up their children, and they're just trying to make sense of it all.
We spoke to the Anamane family, who took shelter at a nearby building. They all survived.
I said, God, please help us stay safe in this tornado if we have one. They said, amen.
Amazing. Michelle just happened to be in Oklahoma when the tornado hit. Thanks, Michelle. Well, Operation Blessing is working to provide disaster relief to folks in the hardest hit parts of Oklahoma. OB will be working with local churches and agencies across the state. Heather Sells has the story.
Just hours after the deadly tornado hit, this Operation Blessing convoy was heading to more. The Oklahoma City suburb is just 4 hours north on I-35 from Granbury, Texas, where Operation Blessing spent the last week attending to survivors of that tornado. More than 500 volunteers have worked to clear trees and debris and help families like the Thompsons recover their belongings.
The Operation Blessing volunteers immediately were able to start boxing up everything that was still left. We found baby pictures, pictures that we thought we lost just in the rubble.
Thompson says God saved him and his wife and 2 babies the night the tornado hit. He had just changed jobs, allowing the family to attend church on the other side of town.
The tornado came through so quick that I heard nobody had time to react, when it came through and take shelter. So like I said, if I was at work still and with the kids and the wife here, I don't see how they would have made it, being the destruction it is like this.
But now Operation Blessing is shifting gears to focus on the disaster in Oklahoma. It loaded 2 truckloads of food and relief supplies last night to send to the devastated area, and it will coordinate with partner churches and agencies to provide much-needed help to the victims of this terrible tragedy. Heather Sells, CBN News.
And for more on what you can do to help Operation Blessing and their work there in Oklahoma, you can visit our website, cbnnews.com. Well, after the last few days, it's safe to say tornado season is in full swing. But forecasters say so far, 2013 has been pretty quiet on the twister front. This year marks the longest the U.S. has gone into the month of May without seeing an EF1 or stronger tornado. That's according to the National Severe Storms Laboratory. They say a cool spring has kept the number of tornadoes down so far, and that typically the tornado season begins in the Midwest about a month earlier than we've seen this year. For more, we turn now to Joe Bastardi of weatherbell.com. Joe, the tornado that hit Moore was massive. How do these giant twisters form?
Well, you need a clash in the atmosphere to do this. A lot of people assume it's because it's warm, and indeed there is some warm, humid air around. I want to remind folks, though, that you need a lot of cold air to produce these things. And when you get the type of mid and upper level situation we had yesterday with a very, very powerful out-of-season cold trough sweeping into the plains, a lot of dry air in the mid-levels of the atmosphere coming out of Mexico and the warm, moist Gulf air, you get that natural intersection. The United States Central Plains, and this is why we call it Tornado Alley, is naturally set up for this type of thing in spring. And because of all the cold weather, it's been one of the coldest springs we've ever had in the United States. There's been a lack of tornado activity. So finally, when the warm, humid air makes an appearance, there's still enough cold air around to cause the clash, to cause the type of thing we saw yesterday.
Well, Joe, some people point out that and say this is part of a wild weather phenomenon, but big tornadoes like this are nothing new, are they?
Oh, no. This is common. Tornadic activity has been falling overall since the last cold cycle of the Pacific Ocean. You got to understand, and I keep preaching this, and one of these days it'll catch on. We are in the same cycle we were in the 1950s when the Pacific turned cold and the Atlantic was still warm. We saw a lot of hurricane activity along the eastern seaboard, a lot of heat and drought in the plains, and we saw a lot of tornado activity. And for the life of me, I don't understand why people try to make more of this than what it actually is. It's not global warming. It's not the rapture. It's what nature's doing, what nature is meant to do, and it's an eternal balancing act. So, we don't want to diminish what has happened in Moore, Oklahoma, or Joplin, or any of these places. But look, if you go back and look at the actual records and the actual facts of the matter, the tornadic activity has been down over the past couple of decades compared to where it was.
Well, Joe Bastardi, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate your insights.
I appreciate that. Thank you for having me.
Well, in other news tonight, Senate lawmakers got a chance to grill top IRS officials today over the agency's targeting of conservative groups and an admission from the Obama administration that key players in the White House were, in fact, informed of the scandal ahead of time. John Waughey reports.
3 men were on the hot seat today, including J. Russell George, the Treasury Department Inspector General who submitted the report detailing the IRS scandal, and outgoing agency head Stephen Miller. Douglas Schulman also testified. Schulman was the one running the IRS when agents were targeting conservative groups. Today's hearings were the first opportunity for lawmakers to question Schulman. He left the IRS last November when his 5-year term ended.
I intend to get to the bottom of what happened. We will follow the facts and see where they take us.
Senator Baucus called on the men to account for the scandal that has, quote, lost the public's trust. Today's hearing comes a day after the White House admitted that the IRS did inform senior officials in the Obama administration of the inappropriate scrutiny, including a top White House lawyer, Catherine Rumler. She reportedly made the call not to inform the president.
She made the decision or the judgment that it was not necessary or appropriate to inform the president of this.
The White House had previously maintained that it first learned of the scandal through press reports. Republicans questioned that claim from the beginning. John Waggy, CBN News.
The director of the Exempt Organizations Division of the IRS is reported to have a history of harassment. According to the Weekly Standard, Lois Lerner worked for the Federal Election Commission's Enforcement Division before joining the IRS. She was accused of politically motivated harassment there after an investigation into the Christian Coalition. The FEC accused them of working with candidates to spend money on certain issues. In the end, the FEC lacked proof. The investigation cost the Christian Coalition thousands of dollars. Turning overseas, a push to legalize gay marriage in the United Kingdom is creating a stir both inside and outside Parliament. The bill is being debated in the lower house this week. Christians gathered to pray and show their support for traditional marriage Monday and Tuesday. And they're not alone in their support. Many conservatives oppose the bill, and they're breaking ranks with Prime Minister David Cameron to support alternative measures. Nearly half of his supporters voted for amendments that would weaken the proposed gay marriage legislation. British media report the issue is threatening to split apart Cameron's government. Coming up, meet a group of people who are always prepared for any kind of disaster situation.
Why are so many companies, unions, and organizations across the country choosing the Avia dental plan?
Because group plans start at as little as $5 per month, and groups can save 20 to 80% off of high-quality dental care.
Everyone qualifies, and there's no waiting or limits on visits to the dentist.
Call now and save $20, plus get 3 months free.
Call now and you may be able to save $20 and get 3 months free. 1-888-431-CARE or visit aviadental.com.
If you are age 85 or younger, call 1-800-520-1922 now
to learn more about the Senior Care Plan from Senior Life Insurance Company. The average funeral now costs over $7,500, but the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay your debt. The Senior Care Plan will pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. There is no medical exam, and you'll have lifetime coverage. Your rates will never increase, your benefits will never decrease, and your plan cannot be canceled by Senior Life. To receive free information about the Senior Care Plan and its benefits,
call 1-800-520-1922 now.
Also receive information about a free prescription discount card by calling now. You have no obligation. Operators are standing by. Call now.
You have a son that you do not know. He's reaching for you.
I want my family back.
Go make some good memories together.
Crash landed. Son, if we are going to survive this, you must realize that fear is not real. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. Together, we will survive.
After Earth, rated PG-13, May 31st.
Well, are you a prepper? Are you ready for a major natural disaster, a crippling economic crisis, or even a long power outage? There's one group of people prepared for catastrophes big and small, and they're known as preppers, and they're growing in number. Chuck Holton brings us this report.
We can have an economic collapse.
We can have terrorist attacks. We can have social unrest, a natural disaster, earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes.
Keith Eiton is a die-hard prepper and recently started a business helping others get ready too.
The biggest problem we suffer here in North America is complacency. People figure since, well, nothing has happened in X amount of years, nothing bad will ever happen.
You know, survivalists are sometimes portrayed as these wild-eyed crazies waiting for the zombie apocalypse. But with the state of the economy and in today's world, being prepared is more popular than ever. In the mountains of North Carolina, a couple thousand people got together at the Carolina Readiness Seminar to discuss the risks and find out what they can do about them.
It's very environmental, very green, takes us off of fossil fuels, and very easy to do.
Joel Henderson is the co-owner of Green Gold Filters, one of the vendors at the Prepper Convention. His patented filtration system is helping folks accomplish something that America has been trying to do for years: run a vehicle without foreign oil.
If anybody has a diesel engine, diesel truck, tractor, generator, you can use used cooking oil as an alternative diesel fuel or motor oil. If you go to the restaurants, this right here is a local restaurant here in Asheville, Indian restaurant. This is their used cooking oil that they were throwing away. We went and picked it up, ran it through our filter system, and now we have a nice alternative diesel fuel that I'll put right in my tank.
This movement is being helped along by a new trend in television shows about the subject. The most popular is National Geographic's Doomsday Preppers.
Doomsday Preppers is the highest rated show right now ever on National Geographic. It's a show about your average American family, unique people that are prepping for any of life's uncertainties, whether that be an economic collapse to a solar flare. No matter what it is, they're going to be prepared.
One of the challenges for the show is that most preppers aren't eager to advertise their stockpiles of supplies, since if the bottom drops out, looting could be a real problem.
We do understand that, it could be a risk to people, but we do respect people's privacy on the show. We don't have to say your first name or last name. We don't have to say where you're from. And we try to get in the lives of many diverse preppers and have each prepper, give a takeaway to our viewers so they can learn more about prepping.
But Keith Eiton says the first step to being prepared has nothing to do with canned food or bottled water.
Your first thing in preparedness, for me personally, is your relationship with Jesus Christ. That's the very first thing. If you build a solid relationship with Jesus Christ, then after that, if you can get food, water stored away, a little safe retreat, things of that nature, it'll all fall into place. You want to be able to feed yourself, feed your family, help a neighbor, help a friend.
100 years ago, it wasn't strange for a family to have a basement full of food, but that's changed. Most Americans today have less than 3 days' supply of food stored up, and many have no emergency supplies or even a first aid kit. But with the infrastructure of America getting more and more fragile every day, maybe it's not a bad idea to stock up, just in case. From an undisclosed location in North Carolina, I'm Chuck Holton for CBN News.
We're coming to your house, Chuck. Well, up next, how one ministry is working to save sick kids in the Middle East.
From CBN.
Broken Eardrum is playing at the Civic tonight.
And you'll just have to miss it.
This is so incredibly unfair.
A special story of love and sacrifice.
Joy, Mom comes up with something.
Christopher Quantum, you and I are going to discuss your attitude right this minute. Superbook.
No.
Join the Superbook DVD Club and get Superbook's newest episode, He is Risen. Plus 2 copies to share with others. All for your gift of $25.
They have arrested Jesus, the Messiah. Do you not know that I have the power to crucify you?
No! Please! You can't! They've taken him to Golgotha. We must hurry. Mary is about to lose her son. The worst thing any mother could face. I am not leaving her.
Superbook. It's an amazing way to build a strong spiritual foundation in the children you love.
Mary, who are you looking for?
I've seen him! He is alive!
Superbook. He is Risen. Available now.
If you are age 85 or younger, call 1-800-520-1922 now to learn more about the Senior Care Plan from Senior Life Insurance Company. The average funeral now costs over $7,500, but the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay your debt. The Senior Care Plan will pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. There is no medical exam, and you'll have lifetime coverage. Your rates will never increase, your benefits will never decrease, and your plan cannot be canceled by Senior Life. To receive free information about the Senior Care Plan and its benefits,
call 1-800-520-1922 now.
Also receive information about a free prescription discount card by calling now. You have no obligation. Operators are standing by. Call now.
Listen closely. I have important news that may be of great benefit to you.
If you or anyone you love needs health insurance right now, with or without a pre-existing medical condition, call the Health Insurance Helpline for immediate assistance and get the relief you deserve. The Health Insurance Helpline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans with or without pre-existing conditions. We're not talking about a discount card. We're talking about insurance programs that provide access to doctors, hospitals, and emergency services. Call the number on your screen now, and in minutes you can have a choice of affordable health plans. And as a special bonus for calling today, we'll send you a no-obligation, no-cost prescription savings card which can save you up to 50% off your prescriptions. Call the Health Insurance Helpline now.
Call now to receive your prescription savings card. Call 800-664-8849. That's 800-664-8849.
Welcome back. Israel has no diplomatic ties with Iraq, but there's one group of doctors looking past country lines. They're working to give life-saving treatment to kids. It's all part of Save a Child's Heart, a group that's treated children with congenital heart defects from many nations, including the Palestinian Authority. Our Julie Stahl brings us one girl's story.
These children look happy, healthy, and active. But just weeks ago, each one of them faced death. They needed open-heart surgery, and they got it through Save a Child's Heart in Israel.
The idea behind Save a Child's Heart is to provide life-saving heart surgery for children from developing countries.
That was the case with Esther, a Christian from the Maasai tribe in Tanzania. Rheumatic fever damaged her heart, and she couldn't get the necessary help in her own country. She became the 2,500th patient of Save a Child's Heart.
Her heart was huge. She was very limited in a very simple task. Even simple walking, it was difficult for her.
Sister Angelica runs the children's home where Esther lives. She heard about the program from a volunteer who just happened to be riding the same bus from Kenya to Tanzania. Angelica contacted Save a Child's Heart and learned a team was actually heading to Tanzania to climb Mount Kilimanjaro 2 days later. One of the doctors, Dr. Godwin Godfrey, is Tanzanian.
Actually, for me, it looks like a miracle.
They met Esther, saw she needed surgery urgently, and 2 months later, she was in Israel. Dr. Lior Sasson operated for hours, reconstructing the valve in Esther's heart.
Now she can live a normal life. She would have to take preventive medicine that her valve would not be affected again.
Executive Director Simon Fisher says more than 50% of the children treated have been Palestinian from the West Bank and the Gaza Strip.
We believe that Save a Child's Heart has a very positive message which it sends out from the Middle East, from Israel, about people working together from different nationalities and different religions for the best of our children.
Part of the program's goal is to train doctors from developing countries, like Dr. Godfrey, who will work in Israel for 5 years.
This training will be one of its kind for my country, so hopefully when I go back, I will actually start the open heart surgery also for the young children.
Before and after surgery, the children live in this house, usually with a parent or caregiver. House mother Laura Cassis says the change in the children is amazing.
You see the children going home healthy. You know, you see children that sometimes can barely walk, practically running. Bus to go to the airport, and they're smiling and they're looking forward to going home, and you know that they have a future.
Less than 2 weeks after her surgery, Esther was dancing with her newfound friends and sang us a song she sings at home.
I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul.
Julie Stahl, CBN News, Holon, Israel.
And up next, open for business. How one town along the Jersey Shore is recovering after Hurricane Sandy.
Jim is 38, mortgage, married, 3 great kids. He wants to protect his family with a $500,000 term life insurance policy. What do you think it'll cost him? $100 a month? 60? 40? Actually, none of the above. Jim can get a $500,000 policy from a highly rated insurer for under $19 a month. His secret? SelectQuote. SelectQuote is impartial. They'll comparison shop the pick of insurance companies like these to give you a choice of your best prices. SelectQuote has great savings on term life for women, too. Jim's wife, Deidre, can get a $500,000 policy for under $16 a month. SelectQuote has helped make term life insurance affordable for hundreds of thousands of people since 1985. How about you? Just call this number or go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand-name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
A major milestone this week for a seaside town in New Jersey. The boardwalk in Lavallette was destroyed when Hurricane Sandy hit the Jersey Shore. But Governor Chris Christie joined a crowd of several hundred people on Monday to watch the final nails be hammered into the newly rebuilt boardwalk, finished just in time for summer.
This is the first symbol for us of making sure this week that everybody across the state, across the region, and across America knows that the Jersey Shore is open for the summer and ready to receive our customers.
Christie says he hopes his visit will help get the word out that come Memorial Day, all of the beaches in Lavallette will be open, as well as 95% of its businesses. And that is good news for the Jersey Shore. Well, that's going to do it for all of us here on NewsWatch. Remember, you can email us your comments and questions at newswatch@cbn.com. We hope you'll join us again next time. Until then, good night, everyone.